I certainly think that video was the most important thing for any new band on the planet. If you just relied on radio after MTV came out, you know, it would take you 3 years to get known. Once videos came out, everyone started recognizing everybody because they're, you know, people's moms and dads were sitting there watching MTV.
You know, we had a golden period, really, where we could experiment, and people were happy for us to experiment because it was a blank canvas. I mean, we were second, third wave generation of music videos, but it was still in its infancy. And, you know, whereas people who were spending the big money, we were kind of snuck away, you know, like naughty schoolboys doing 10 grand videos in white studios.
I got the tools to satisfy, just walk away.
This was a very dry sounding song, very kind of acoustic, you know, but still rocky. But, you know, not a kind of rock track. And, you know, they wanted to stick to the old formula. The manager thought I was completely barking mad. And I said, look, just give me 15, 20 minutes with the band.
Andy came in with this idea that, you know, we'd have these girls, you know, and do like a cowboy kind of vibe, you know, and black and white. Just the way he described it, it wasn't like written in a bunch of details. It was just a concept, a feel. And I immediately saw it in my head. It's going to be cool and fun.
It's alive and it's kicking.
And they all kind of looked at Eddie and he went, great. That was it. And, you know, because Eddie said, great, we're making the video.
Come on, baby, finish what you started. Oh, I'm incomplete.
But the most difficult part of it was we all shot individual. Now, that's really hard on anybody. I mean, I'm not an actor. I don't sit there and practice my role. But we all stood there and supported each other. Like, when I was doing my thing, you know, they were all making fun of me and, you know, laughing and you know, I'd do a jump or something, and, you know, Alex would go, yeah, do it again, you know, and all that shit.
They were having real fun with it. You know, like, if I did a couple takes on Sammy, you know, Michael Anthony wanted to have a go. And, you know, they were kind of winding each other up, which was fantastic. And, you know, and then the girls are hanging about looking super, super sexy. And, you know, but again, in a playful way. I didn't want just kind of, you know, gratuitous kind of bimbos. It was deliberately supposed to be playful and fun.
Andy, I'll tell you something, he was really a cool guy. He wasn't like this guy coming in yelling and screaming at people, you know. He was really easygoing, and he always brought in great-looking chicks, okay? And, you know, Andy, that was your forte, whether you think so or not, okay? That's what kept the rock stars happy, man. And, you know, so these girls are sitting around putting on makeup while next to you, you know, they're powdering you up, and they're looking over and going, you know, this isn't so bad. But everybody's girlfriend was there. I shouldn't be saying it. We're all divorced now.
Yeah.
Original cut had lots more girls in it, and we were told actually that pressure from a couple of the band's wives. We were told to take them out. There was too many girls in it.
Come on, baby, finish what you started.
You don't bring your wife to a good video shoot like that, because I would have performed totally different. You know, I'd have been, you know, not trying to be as sexy or not trying to be as sexual. And, you know, that same thing, you know, in the old days, we used to always say, oh, the wives aren't allowed to come to the shows because it would ruin a show, man. I mean, you know, in between songs, we say, well, how's everybody doing tonight, you know? Instead of say, look at the tits on that one, you know. Put those things away.
One by one.
I think that was Van Halen's peak as far as us as a band being friends and really having fun together at all times. But I really knew the value of it, and I like looking at myself. I gotta tell you, I'd like to sit home, watch MTV. I'll be straight up, folks. I said, I'd be checking myself out going, hey, you look pretty good right there. Like looking to finish what you started. I don't want to see myself now, but looking at that video, Van Halen, we were a great looking band at that point. You know, we really looked good in that video and the chicks were hot and it was just really a great time. Great, great time.
So come on, baby. So come on,
Sometimes, you know, guys have a concept for a video and then it's all done. You're going, geez, that was not what we thought it was going to be. Andy, he had a trick that he wanted to do with Van Halen of slowing, you film the thing at double speed or half speed, anyway, and then you play it at real time, and it had a really cool look. But when I figured out, when we found out what you had to do that, I hated it. That was really rough. You know, having a song go, dun, down, bump, bump, and I would go, I mean, it was like, it was horrible. We did one video that way, and I swear it was the worst video Van Halen ever made, and that and he did it.
I never really knew what love could make me do.
It was brutal, and then you would do double time. You'd be like, you know, that was bullshit. Okay, that was bad, but it looked good. It had an effect. You know, it had a look, but it was so friggin' hard. I hated that.
Waiting for love to set me free. Every day.
Well, it was an opportunity if the video worked, but it was really a restriction and a bad business move if the video didn't work. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we spent a lot of money on a video and went, oops, you know, this is like not good. Even shooting a whole concert video we've done before and shoot a whole in concert, and was just everything went wrong that night. And you're going, man, we just spent $350,000 and this is like unusable. Do we want to do it again or do we not, you know? So we've done that many times. That's a negative.
Waiting for love to rescue me.
The more you saw yourself on video, the more you realized when you were faking it, it looked really stupid. To me, it did, you know. And so I learned as I went. Like I said, I loved watching my videos, you know. And I just go, hey, I'm learning every moment.
Something to feel in the holes. We think a lot, but don't talk much about it.
I was always uncomfortable shooting a video in front of a camera and being like, you know, acting a little bit. I didn't like that part. I used to play the music really loud, and I would lip sync. I'd be singing. I'd blow my voice out shooting a video.
How does it feel when it's love? It's just something you feel together when it's love.
The video When It's Love, I blew my voice completely out because we had to get back on a plane that night and fly to a show the next day, and I couldn't sing because I had screamed the song over and over again for like 10 hours of singing that song because I refused to just go. You know, I couldn't do that. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't fake it. And my manager kept saying, don't sing. You know, I'm going, I'm losing my voice. Don't sing. I said, oh, yeah, right. You stand up here in front of this camera and fake it.
How do I know when it's love? I can't tell you, but it lasts forever. Oh, how does it feel when it's love? It's just something you.
You know, I think you can learn a lot if you're in this business of standing out in front of people, trying to at least look as good as you can. You can learn from watching yourself. And so all those videos, I learned a ton. Poundcake came along, we wanted Andy. You know, we said, let's use Andy again. He's like, great. And it was a whole different video. That's what was cool about Andy. He could do a lot of different things. I mean, you know, Feel So Good, that NXS look was one thing. Finish What You Started was, I thought, fresh for him. And then Poundcake was so bright and overlit and big giant amps and stage performance and just looked big and powerful. And he made us look really good in that video.
I did another video with them, which was again a kind of fake live thing called Poundcake, and I did about 45 takes, you know, on Sammy and then Michael Anthony and then, you know, Eddie. And by the time I got to Eddie's brother, Alex Van Halen, on the drums, he was, because it was a really heavy track, that he was absolutely good. He was so tired, and he was so angry with me because, you know, by the time I got to his close-up, he goes, "You should have started with me and worked out." And he was right, actually. He was absolutely right. He was pretty livid with me. So I learned a good lesson.
Being the, you know, the oldest guy in the band all the time, I'm always paranoid about, you know, looking good on a video. If you're going to shoot a video, you know, you don't make me look good as I can. You know, I don't want you to make me. No magic here. Just please make me look as good as I can. And he did a good job on that. You know, I think I looked great in that video. I really liked my look.
Never been that kind of snobbish about performance videos or live performance videos, because to me, I was always a huge fan of artists and bands and played in bands, and to me that's the essence of an artist, is essentially its performance. And you know, you can have the greatest idea in the world or the cleverest idea in the world, or, you know, that's never been done before and all this kind of stuff, but there's something about, you know, working with iconic artists, about simply capturing what's iconic about them.
The first Van Halen record with me in the band, 5150, we didn't make any videos. We said, no, we're gonna go straight out on tour, and if people wanna see this new lineup, they're gonna have to come to the concert and see it the way we really are.
Why put it off another day? One by one, little problem.
You know, we were all saying, well, we don't know what kind of video we would want to make, and we don't know what our image really is yet, until we hadn't worked it out. And, you know, Van Halen had been such a video-friendly band before then. And we put 5150 out. It was the biggest record, you know, Van Halen ever had. First #1 album, straight to #1, blah, blah, blah. So I can't say that that video made that band. It may have before that. It helped, but even it really didn't. I think Van Halen was a big band no matter what.
Hey, so tomorrow.
But the next album, videos, we started really making great videos. So I would say it certainly didn't hurt us, because our success didn't go down. And with Right Now being such a big video for us, and won all the awards and everything, but we broke up after that shortly.
And nothing falls into place. Now, only mess
Right Now video, I gotta tell you, when they presented that, I hated it. I said, I am not doing this. I said, I wrote the best lyric I've ever written in Van Halen. I'm trying to upgrade this band's image with lyrics, to where we're finding not just a party band that can play our instruments, and they want to put words underneath. Why don't they use the words I wrote? They're great words. It's a statement. I said, it's going to be confusing. And I actually took off and wouldn't return people's phone calls for about a week. And finally, Mo Austin from the president of Warner Brothers calls with my manager and the director, and they go, what can we do to make this happen? We all really believe in this. And I thought, Mo Austin's calling me and trying to get me to do this video. Wow. So I did it. And it was just bad karma for me, because when we shot it, I had pneumonia. We were on tour, and I was down I had 104 temperature. I was dying, and we're sitting in Chicago. I'm in a hotel room. I can't even play the shows. We're canceling shows. We're staying there, and we shoot, but it was already, etched in stone. And so I went and I shot it, and if you look at my attitude in the video, I'm like, I wouldn't even cooperate. And I'm not like that either. Everybody knows Sammy's not like that, right? Me, I'm not like that. I'm not. But it's the first time I pulled a fast one. And look, it was the biggest video we ever had. So it shows you what I know. We did a video that never got shown called Wham Bam Amsterdam from the Balance record, and we shot it in Amsterdam with Andy. That video was great. It was down and dirty, and we were ourselves, and we were just walking through the streets of Amsterdam doing everything you would do, in a day and a night in Amsterdam. The Amsterdam video was killing. People should need to see that. I got this tattoo in the video. It was an old tattoo from when I was really, really young, when I was a little boy. And I got a facelift in Amsterdam. There's blood, and I'm screaming and yelling. Eddie got his Wolfgang tattoo, I think, and a Van Halen tattoo or something. Eddie got a tattoo together. And we went in the brothels, and we actually went in and had a good time. And filmed everything. And we were in the Bulldog, rolling tight ones and stuff, And so, that video said, we will not play that, the whole content, the whole lyric content of that song. So, there you go. Yes, we did run into censorship with MTV. Van Halen was really, really a fun band, and we definitely got around a little bit, and, we really caused a lot of good times. We created some really, really good times.
One of the reasons I got into the business, and one of the reasons I'm still in the business, is because I'm a fan. Always was a fan. I love music, and I love artists, and I love performance, and part of what I hope my legacy is in terms of music videos has been I've always tried to kind of, translate my enthusiasm as a fan into any of the work I do, things I like to see them do or wanted to see them do, and have my way with them, really. Yeah, it's a really important part for me.
Videos? Oh, everything's a chore to me now. You know, my whole life I've been driven by fame and fortune, you know. But, you know, once you've achieved that 10 times over what you ever imagined, then, you know, you sit there and you go, well, why am I working this hard? I love to play music, but I don't like all this other crap, you know. You know, I don't mind every now and then if it's a great song and think, oh, what a great video. But to just go tediously roll up your sleeves and spend, you know, 20 hours on shooting a video at this stage in my life is friggin' work. Once heard someone said, anyone over 25 shouldn't, you know, be caught in front of a camera anymore, you know. I'm almost going for that.